simply supported slabs. Now these steps and clauses which are related with slabs, this we have already seen in last video. Now that all clauses and steps we will not go in detail. So now we will solve this problem. That is, design a corridor slabs over a passage of size 15.7 meter by 3.2 meter. The slab is simply supported and by 300 wide beams and carries superimposed load 3.25 M20 and Fe415. So now we know we have clauses for effective span, that is center to center distance, or we can have clear span plus effective depth. So we have that is clear span 3.2 plus 0.3, that is width of the support, so 3.5 meters. And then we have to go second step, that is trial depth. Here we have L effective by D 20 into modification factor. Now L effective we have to take 3.5 because second criteria now we cannot use because we do not have effective depth. So we are going to assume percentage of steel 0.3 and from which we have modification factor 1.35. And by using this modification factor 1.35, we are going to get this value of effective depth D, which is 129.63 millimeters. So if we will add effective cover in it, then we are going to get overall depth of the slab 149.63 millimeters. So we will round up it on higher side always. So we will get capital D equal to 150 millimeter and small d 150 minus 20, that is 130 millimeters. Now we can go for second criteria, that is clear span plus effective depth. So we have 3.2 plus 0.13 and we will get it as 3.33 meters. Now effective span is minimum of 1 and 2. 1 we have 3.5 meters and 2 we have 3.33 meters. So minimum is 3.33 meters, that is 3330 millimeters. Then we have third step, which is load calculations. Now we have total load, dead load plus live load. So dead load is self weight of slab plus floor finish. Then self weight of slab is 25 into D, capital D, and then we have capital D, that is 0.15 meters, and that will use me self weight as 3.75 kilonewton per meter square. Assume floor finish. Actually we do not have given floor finish. So we are going to assume that floor finish as 1 kilonewton per meter square. This value generally ranges between 0.75 kilonewton per meter square to 2 kilonewton per meter square. Then dead load we will get total 4.75 kilonewton per meter square. Live load is given, that is superimposed load is given 3.25 kilonewton per meter square. So total load we will get, that is dead load plus live load, which is 8 kilonewton per meter square. Now from this we have to find out value of factorial load. Now factorial load we know that is 1.5 into dead load, total load. So total load is 8. So 1.5 into 8, that will give me 12 kilonewton per meter square. Then we have next step, that is shear force and bending moment calculations. Actually now in this we have, as beam is simply supported, therefore we have VU. WU I can say it as WUL by 2. That is factorial load we can say. So we have WU into L by 2. Now WU we know that value we got as 12. So 12 into effective span we have 3.33 upon 2. So we are going to get this value as 19.98 kilonewton. And bending moment we have WU into L effective square by 8. So 12 into 3.33 square by 8 is 16.34 kilonewton meter. So we have this as shear force and bending moment. Then we have next step, that is depth from bending moment consideration. Now we have to find design constant. We know design constant that depends upon your grade of concrete and grade of steel. So Ku max, which depends upon grade of steel. So we have this value for Fe415 0.48. Now knowing this value, Ru max we can find by using this formula, which depends on FCK and Ku max, that is on grade of concrete and grade of steel. So now FCK we have 20 and Ku max is 0.48, and from this we are going to get value of Ru max, which is 2.76 Newton per mm square. Now by substituting these values in the equation of D required, which is equal to Mu max upon Ru max into B we know 1000 millimeter, because in slabs width of the slab is always taken as 1 meter. So we are going to find out reinforcement for 1 meter and will be kept same in the remaining portion. Therefore B is taken as 1 meter over here. Now from this we will get value of D required for bending moment, and that value we got 76.94 millimeter. This 130 millimeter we have considered value by using, that is, deflection criteria, serviceability condition. Then reinforcement. So we have formula that now we have main reinforcement and distribution reinforcement. As we have one-way slab, so we have bending only along shorter dimension. So my reinforcement should be, main reinforcement should be along shorter direction. Then along longer direction, we have to provide secondary reinforcement, or we have to provide shrinkage and temperature reinforcement over there. So now we have formula AST equal to 0.5 FCK upon F1 minus root of 1 minus 4.6 mu upon FCK BD square into BD. Now we will substitute the values. We know FCK, we know Fy, we know mu, we know FCK BD. So we will put all these values, and that will gives me that value that is equal to 370.18 millimeter square. And now we have this value, that D we got as 130 small d, and mu we have 16.34. So by substituting this value AST, we will get 370.18 millimeter square. Now we have to check this still with respect to your minimum reinforcement. So we have AST minimum 0.12% of BD. Now we have seen this, that depends upon your total cross-sectional area, and therefore we have to take capital D. So 0.12 into 1000 into 150 upon 100, or this value is taken as 1.2 into capital D. You can use this and you can calculate this value of AST minimum for FY 415, and for FY 250 you can take it value as 1.5 into capital D, and we have this value that is 180 millimeter square. Now this is minimum and we require 370. So requirement is greater than minimum. So we have to provide maximum of the two, that is AST required and AST minimum. So we have to provide 370.18 mm square. Now we are going to use 10 millimeter diameter, and spacing we are going to find out. Now whatever diameter of bar we have taken, that is satisfying IS criteria or not, that we have to check by using this formula, that is maximum diameter allowed is overall depth of slab upon 8. And overall depth we have 150 divided by 8, we will get it as 18.75 millimeter, which is actually greater than 10 millimeter, which we are going to use. So we are going to satisfy this criteria, that is of maximum diameter. Then we have next step, that is spacing, which is 1000 into small AST upon capital AST, and small AST we have, that is area of single bar. You can see as we are using 10 mm diameter bar, so we have, this is area of 1 bar, and by value we have a capital AST, this is capital AST required, and that value we have 370.1. It gives me spacing required 212.17, which is less than 300, and 3D, because small d we have 130, so that goes to 390 millimeters. And then we have to provide always lesser. So if we will provide spacing lesser, so AST provided will be greater than AST required. Now if you will provide greater, then AST provided will be lesser than AST required, and which may fail your slab. So we have to provide 10 millimeter diameter bars at 210 millimeters center to center. Then we have to find AST provided. Now 1000 into small AST upon spacing, so 210, and therefore the AST provided we have 370 millimeter square, which is greater than 370.18 millimeter, and therefore this is okay, means whatever steel we have provided, that satisfies our criteria. Then we have next distribution reinforcement. We know this reinforcement we have to provide as minimum reinforcement, and we have that as 180 millimeter square, 0.12% B into capital D. And now we will use 8 millimeter diameter bar. Why we will go for 8 millimeter? If I will go for 10 millimeter, then spacing will be larger one. And to avoid it, we will go for 8 millimeter diameter. So same formula we have to use for spacing. You can see this is area of a single bar, and that will gives me value, that is 279.25, which is less than 450 millimeter, and 5D, that is 5D we have 130 into 5 650 millimeters. So we have to again provide lesser. Now you think 279.25 we will go 280, but then you are going to provide AST provided less than 180, and which will not allow by your IS code, and therefore we have to go 270 millimeter center to center. So now we have this will be your distribution reinforcement. Then we have check for deflection. Now we have percentage PT 100 AST provided upon BD. Now here we have to take AST provided, and we have seen that we have provided value of AST that is equal to 374 millimeters square. That is AST provided, and we have to take this value to calculate percentage reinforcement. And then we have that percentage reinforcement 0.29, and by using figure 4, we have that modification factor 1.45 against we have Fs that is 0.58 into 415, which comes around 245. Then D required, we will get it as 113.8 millimeter, and we have provided that value as 130 millimeters. So now this is actually 3330. So we have 3330. Then we have check for shear. So we have to actually take it from face of the column, but in slabs we need not require to go for check for shear also, because it satisfies. You can see this. Let us, we will say 50% steel we have at the support, and then we have steel available 0.5 into 374, that is 187 millimeters square. And then we have VUC is equal to K tau C BD. Now we have to take value of K, which depends upon depth of slab, and that value we have 1.3. Then we have percentage PT, that is for 50% is 0.41%, and then we have to take value of tau C from table 19. So as it is less than 0.15, so we have this value of tau C, that is 0.28 Newton per mm square. Now you can put this value of K. Now we know tau C, we know B is 1000, D is 130, and that gives me 47.32 kilonewton, and our requirement is only 19.98 kilonewton. So this is, we can say, much larger than your 19.38 kilonewton, and therefore okay. So we need not require to go for shear reinforcement. Then development length. So we have LD at discontinuous end less than or equal to 1.3 m1 by V plus L naught. Now if my criteria will be satisfied by this, then I did not require to provide any hook or anything. And if we will see in this VU 19.98 kilonewton, we are taking 50% steel in support. So MU by 2 we are going to consider, which is 8.17 kilonewton meter. LD we have formula 5 sigma is upon 4 tau BD. So we have 60% increase in this, and tau BD value we have 1.2, and that will give me value of LD, that is 470.11 millimeter. Now we will calculate 1.3 m1 by V. We got 531.58 millimeter, greater than 470.11, which is our requirement. So we need not require to go for any hook allowance or any hook we have to provide over there. Now if we will go to diagram of this, that is section, and we have plan of this. So now you can see section of this. So we have, this is my slabs. So my overall depth, that is 150 millimeter over here, and then we have this span, that is effective span we have here, that is 3.33 meters. 3.33 meters. So we have, this is my effective span. Now we have this as main reinforcement, and that is 10 millimeter bars at 210 millimeter center to center, and then we have 8 mm diameter bars at 270 millimeter center to center. You can see this. So this red we are going to get this as distribution reinforcement. Always keep in mind main reinforcement is below. If we have tension below in simply supported, and if we have cantilever, then we have main reinforcement top. So towards the effective cover, we have from bottom or from top to the center of main reinforcement, and we have inside. Your distribution reinforcement is always inside. So we have this as 8 millimeter at 270 millimeter center to center. Now you can see we have, now I will plot both. We have this cross section. How we will find this, plot this cross section. So we have this steel. So if I will see from this side, then we are going to get only this steel. That is main reinforcement. We will see first bar only, and that we have seen. So that bars will go one back to another. So likewise in this line, so we are going to get only, we are going to see only one bar. Now we have these reinforcement, these are distribution reinforcement, and we are going to get this reinforcement, that is dots only. And then these are my distribution reinforcement, which we have seen over here. And likewise, we have to plot it. Now, if you are going to plot it from this side, then what will happen in this case? You are going to get main reinforcement as dot, which will be bottom side. and distribution reinforcement will be above this. So we are going to get this as 10 millimeters diameter, and then we are going to get this above bar, this will be 8 millimeters. If you are going to see from this side, then you have in this fashion. So main reinforcement will be bottom, and distribution reinforcement, which we are going to get 1 bar full. So you can see from this side, we are going to get this as full bar, and this we are going to get as dotted. So likewise we are going to get, if I will see from this, so this I can say from Y side, so this is from Y, and this if I will say this is from X side, then we are going to get this from X side. So I have again plotted one diagram below also. So you can see this. From this section, how we will go for plan. So we have plan, you can see like this, and then distribution reinforcement, you can have like this. So we have to likewise draw your plan and elevation. So in exam, you have section that is more than sufficient, and you can go for this. So thank you. These are the steps, and these are the reinforcement details which are related with your simply supported slabs. So today we will stop here only. So thank you.